Nancy with Real Mom, Real Solutions. Today we are going to go over the topic of getting back in shape or getting your body conditioned after you have a baby. I had a lot of questions and requests on this, so let's get started. So I'm not a doctor and I don't claim to know what's best for every single person. Everyone's body is different. So please, talk to your doctor and get permission to do any of these things, or do whatever they recommend. I've never had a cesarean birth. I've never had really any complications or anything. Mine have always just gone so perfect and smooth. So I know that each person is very different, and if you have a complicated birth or if you have any problems or anything, then your recovery might be longer or a lot different. So, but this is the way things have been for me. I'll just tell you what I do, and I guess you can take from it what will work for you. Okay, so immediately after you have a baby, your body is in kind of a natural state of repairing itself. And if you take advantage of that right after, then you'll get a lot quicker results, and your body will repair itself faster, and you'll get better results as far as getting back in shape and everything. Whereas if you wait a while, then you have to try a lot harder. Immediately after I have my baby, then I make sure that I wear a belly band. And they make all different kinds of belly bands. I've tried several different ones. Honestly, I haven't found one that I absolutely love. I did get a new one that I'm going to be trying after this time, and I'm hoping that that will be the one I love. But we'll see, I guess. They all do okay, and they all get the job done. It's just some are more uncomfortable than others. So immediately after I have a baby, I massage my uterus to get it positioned right and in the right place. And then before I put the belly band on, then I'll take a rag or like a small hand towel and roll it up, and then place it above my uterus so that the uterus won't move out of its place, and then wrap the belly band around that. And that just helps your uterus stay in place so that it doesn't end up being a tipped uterus or end up somewhere where it doesn't belong. Anyway, so every single time that I have an after pain, then I take that time to massage the uterus and help it to shrink back down, and to help it to stay in the right position and where it's supposed to go. And you always kind of press down and toward the center and try to keep it in the right place, and it will help it to shrink back and to go back to its size a lot quicker if you help it along. It will do it naturally on its own, but if you lay on your side, or if it's not positioned right, it can heal in the wrong way and make so that it's harder to have future children and to start out with your future kids. I do help massage my uterus for a few days, the whole time that I'm having after pains, which is usually up to like 3 days, maybe 3 or 4 days max. Sometimes not very long, I guess. Sometimes it's only a couple days. Every person is different, and even every pregnancy is different. Excuse me. I have had some where my after pains were really minimal, and some where they were pretty strong and lasted a little longer. So like I said, every pregnancy is different, and every mother is different. Every body is different. But when you do have the after pains, then that's what their job is to get the uterus down. So if you help it along, it will lessen the time of your body having to have those after pains. Okay, one thing that I do after I have my baby is I save the placenta, and we process it. There's different ways you can process it. There is some, you can send it off and actually have them, they will like dehydrate it and put it in little capsules, and to where you just take it like vitamins. And you can also just simply cut it up in small, like little bite-sized pieces that you freeze in the freezer, and then you throw it into a shake. and blend it up. And honestly, I can't taste the difference, and it tastes fine to me. In like, you put it in a strawberry shake, so it's already pink and it actually tastes fine. I look forward to the shakes myself, but you can also have it processed to where it's in the little vitamin capsules and just take it that way as well. I know that scares a lot of people away, and they just think that they just can't handle the thought of that, and that's fine. It's it's up to you. Everyone can do their own thing, but that is something that I do, and it helps tremendously with a lot of different areas. It helps your body to recover quicker after having a baby. In fact, there was this one couple that the husband actually tried some of the capsules. They had put him into capsules, and he was going to the gym a lot and was training for a competition at the time. And every time that he took those, he recovered a lot faster after workout. And he noticed a big enough difference that, he was kind of eating all of his wife's pills. And the wife, kind of was like, hey, wait a minute, I need these. I just, had a baby. And he says, yeah, but I need them too. I'm training for this thing. And they kind of fight over him, jokingly. Of course, I'm sure they got along fine, but they do help your body recover. And so that's one of the great benefits of it. Also, they help your mind to be more clear. That's one of the things that I myself have noticed the most. When I take it, then I remember things a lot better, and my mind is just a lot more clear, and it kind of gets back to normal a lot faster. And also, it helps a lot with like baby blues or postpartum depression. It just helps your mind to stay healthy and clear. And then it also will help with your after pains, so they're not so hard. And if usually you have plenty of it to where it lasts a while, but you can also save it after, you take it for a couple weeks after you have the baby, and then save it up for each month. At that time of month, if you have cramps really bad, then it will actually help your cramps tremendously. And there's some people that really, I've heard of some people that have really, really bad ones, to where they just hardly can't function for the first day or two every single month. And when they started to take these, then it totally changed it and made so that they could function. And anyway, so there's several benefits, and I know that a lot of people think that it just sounds too gross and they can't handle it, but in my opinion, it's totally worth it. Anyway, it doesn't taste bad. I don't even notice the difference in taste of the shakes. And especially if you put it in capsules, you just swallow it with some water or whatever. Anyway, so it's totally worth it in my opinion. So the first day of having a baby, or the next day at the latest, then I start with my Kegel exercises, and I do those every time that I sit down to feed the baby. That's just a nice reminder, so that you don't forget to do it. You just think, hey, every time I feed the baby, I'm going to do my Kegels, and you work on them, holding them a little longer each time, and doing a little more of them each time until, eventually you get to where you're really good at it, and it kind of just becomes a natural thing that you do because you're in the habit of it. If any of you don't know what a Kegel is, of course you can Google it, but a Kegel exercise is pretty much when you are in the middle of going to the bathroom, if you're in the middle of peeing and you try to hold it, you try to stop. And so you flex that muscle, and that's doing a Kegel. So you just flex that muscle and you practice holding it longer each time and doing more of them each time. And one thing, you do need to make sure that you're active even immediately after having the baby. Within a couple of hours, you should be able to get up, walk around and use the bathroom, and it's not like you're going to be jogging or anything like that, but that you are moving around and that you're not just staying bedridden, unless, of course, your doctor tells you to. Again, like I said, I've had perfect deliveries. I've never had any complications or anything. So if you've had problems or anyway, then your situation may be different. But you do want to make sure that you're up walking around to an extent. Now, don't overdo it, and your body will let you know when you overdo it. There has been times that I have overdone it. I feel great, immediately after. I almost get like a rush of energy, and I, feel amazing. And then, so I get up and I do more than I should, and then I it hits you later and you're like, okay, that was a mistake. So, you know, you do need to be careful and not overdo it, but you don't want to just stay bedridden either. So after about a week, then I like to start walking around or doing like the glider or something for about 20 to 30 minutes every day, just to get my body started on just real light exercising. And then just watch how your body reacts, make sure that you're not overdoing it, and slowly get to where you're doing it a little longer or a little bit more, or maybe a faster pace, until, you know, and just kind of increase it slowly. After a few days, then I start to work on my transverse muscle. And the transverse muscle is a muscle that connects your stomach muscles to your spine in the back. So they go around your whole abdomen, your whole stomach area. And those transverse muscles is what holds your stomach muscles together. So when you are expecting, most of the time, then your stomach muscles will separate to make room for the growing baby. And so after you have the baby, you have to get those muscles back together. And on my first several pregnancies, I didn't know how to do that. I didn't know how to get them back together or how to work with it. And your body will naturally try to repair itself, like I said, and it will try to do it on its own. But if, especially having several kids, and even sometimes just one kid will do it to you, to where it just doesn't quite go back together all the way if you don't exercise it and strengthen it and get it back together. I wish I would have known that from the beginning, because I waited too long. I waited till there was a problem before, and then I researched it and looked into it and found out what I needed to be doing. And so by that time, mine was pretty damaged, and I have an extremely hard time getting my stomach muscles back together now. So I highly recommend that you do these after you have a baby. Okay, to activate your transverse muscles, you pull your belly button back to your spine. So you kind of flex your muscles and pull it back in, and you'll feel your muscles flex around the sides of your waist all the way around to your spine, and you'll kind of feel it connect to your spine. And it'll actually get a little bit sore after a while of doing the exercises, but you hold that as long as you can, and then you relax for a few seconds, and then you do it again, and you just do that over and over for as much as you can handle at first, and just slowly get to where you can hold them longer and do more of them. I actually like to do them when I'm sitting up instead of laying down, but most of the videos will actually show you laying down. But I like to do them while I'm sitting up feeding the baby along with my Kegels, and even sometimes when I'm driving around, just sitting in the car, just because it's something that I can do in any given time of the day. You know, I don't have to really set a certain time aside for it. I do want to mention that you want to make sure that you don't do regular sit-ups or crunches while your stomach muscles are separated like this. It'll make your stomach actually bulge out because of the muscles being separated, and it'll actually cause more damage, and make them being able to be repaired it'll take longer for them to be able to be repaired if you're doing that. So hold off on those. On some of your ab exercises, you need to make sure that you get those muscles back together before you do those. There is several videos that go into a lot more detail on how to work these muscles out and how to pull your muscles back together, your stomach muscles back together. I will put some links in the description for a few of those videos, and that will give you more information. You want to make sure that you are wearing your belly band when you do these exercises, as well. Actually, when you're doing any exercises the first 6 weeks, your belly band will help your body, your stomach, to stay where it needs to be while you're exercising, to help it to go back together the right way. Okay, at about 2 weeks, I like to start introducing just a little bit of the weights, and I do very lightweight. You can also do some like exercise videos. I know Cindy Crawford has a exercise video that is meant for right after you have a baby. Anyway, I'm sure that there's others out there as well. But I do like to just start lifting really, really light weights, just a little bit slowly, and work up to where I can do a little bit more. by the time I'm about 4 weeks, then, you know, I start adding a lot more. And then by 6 weeks, then I'm usually back to the gym, not full-fledged doing heavy workouts, but I can get in and do a pretty decent workout. By the 8-week mark, then I'm pretty much back to the gym full-fledged, you know, doing my regular workouts. So this is a little glimpse of part of my workout that I was doing after I had my last baby. And before I started out with this one, we was actually on vacation. We went on a cruise, and we worked out every morning on the cruise. They had a fairly decent gym, which was really nice. And so this is kind of an example of what I do, but this is just a real short little glimpse of the workout, but it kind of gives you an idea. So your workout is a very important part of strengthening your muscles and strengthening your body to get in a condition that it can handle another pregnancy, or if you're done having kids, even just simply to tone your muscles and get your body back in shape. However, if you don't work on your diet as well, you're not going to get the results that you imagine or that you hope to get. So I'm going to go a little bit into that. And again, same thing with, your diet is about 80% of it. So you think, well, I'll just do my diet and I'm not going to worry about going to the gym. And you will lose weight that way, but you won't look all that great. You won't be toned, and your body will not be in a condition to be able to handle another pregnancy, or even, you'll be exhausted and tired all the time and everything. In my opinion, they're both 100% needed. A really good example is my 16-year-old daughter wanted to start working out with this, and she asked if she could start going to the same. We was doing an athlete training class called Total Athlete Training, and she asked if she could start going with us, her and her older brother. And so we figured she was old enough and her body was developed enough. We told her that would be fine. So she started going with this, and she went for about 3 months straight, and she didn't lose any weight. Her goal was she wanted to lose a little bit of weight, and her brother wanted to actually gain weight. He was too skinny. He was trying to gain muscle. Anyway, so they had different goals, but she went for about 3 months and got no results whatsoever as far as her weight went. She did get stronger and more coordinated and balanced and everything, but she was not losing weight, and it was kind of frustrating her. And we kept telling her, you have to make sure that you're eating the right way. Your diet is a huge part of it, and you have to make sure that you're not eating too much carbs and not enough protein, or whatever, whatever it is that you're doing wrong. Anyway, and we tried to help her, but she wasn't really she didn't really think it was that important, I guess. And she just, thought, well, I want to eat what I want to eat. So after about 3 months, though, she actually had started gaining a little bit of weight. And one day she got on the scale, and afterwards she's like, okay, that's it. I got up to, a certain amount of weight, and I told myself I'd never get that high. And she says, I'm ready to do this the right way. So she went to her dad and said, will you help me? And so he got her the app on her iPad, and he helped her to get it started and showed her how to use it and everything. And she started tracking everything that she was eating, and she realized, that she was eating way more fats than she should, or she was eating too many carbs, or she was eating, just too many calories in general, or whatever her, problem areas were. But she fixed it, and she was determined on her own. Those first 3 months, she didn't want to hear it, but after she decided for herself, she went through and she did it. And she started losing weight like crazy, and everybody could tell a huge difference. And, those first 3 months was almost wasted because she wouldn't include the diet part of it. So that's just kind of an example of make sure that you include both. So that's pretty much what I do in between each one of my kids to recover and to get my body back in shape and have it be ready and in a condition that it can actually handle another pregnancy. It is really hard on your body if your body is not, is deprived of vitamins or deprived of different nutrients and things that it needs. So you do need to listen to your body and make sure that you're, if you're craving weird things, or if you're, always lightheaded, maybe your iron is low, or anyway, just whatever it might be, make sure that you listen to your body and that you keep your body in good health. Not only so you can have more kids. I know some of you are done having kids or not planning on having a lot of kids, but just to be healthy and feel good and have the energy that you need and everything. It really does make a big difference to make sure that you're healthy, and exercise is a big part of that as well. So I really appreciate everyone's support and all the comments that you leave. It gives me great ideas for future videos. I've got a long list and I need to do them more often, so I'll work on that. We had a lot going on last week, but of course we always have a lot going on, so we'll make sure we fit them in. I really appreciate everyone's patience. So please like and subscribe and turn on your notifications for future videos, and thank you for watching.